Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for October 4, 2022, the Something Fishy edition. And we begin with that story from ESPN, which reports authorities probing report of scandal at Lake Erie fishing tournament. The county prosecutor's office in Cleveland has opened an investigation into an apparent cheating scandal during a lucrative walleye fishing tournament on Lake Erie. A video posted shows the tournament director cutting open the winning catch of 5 walleye on Friday and finding lead weights and prepared fish fillets inside them. And you thought the water in Lake Erie was bad. So, cheating comes to fishing. What more can you say? Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Dylan Tokar reporting. Dylan seems to be writing not a lot, but kind of opinion pieces on pronouncements and government enforcement actions. And this one is on the Monaco speech announcing the Monaco Doctrine as embodied in the Monaco Memo. And he says that the DOJ is seeking to counter data showing a decline in corporate crime cases by doubling down on the familiar strategy of trying to get companies to police their own employees and to hand over evidence of wrongdoers. However, he interviews several white-collar defense lawyers, including Julian Andre and Lucinda Lowe and Robert Luskin, all who basically say, 1, we have to wait and see, but 2, they're not sure that this is really going to move the bar on companies self-disclosing or not, because the stick is harder and bigger, but the carrot may not be any more robust. So we're going to have to see how the Monaco Memo plays out, but check it out for some excellent commentary. Next up from the New York Times, an incredibly troubling report. A year-long investigation found U.S. soccer executives, NWSL owners, and coaches turned a blind eye to years of reports of abuse from players. They detail lots of abuse and misconduct in NWSL, and the report was published a year after players claimed they saw a culture of abuse and demanded changes by refusing to take the field. The report is really systematic in showing a league in which abuse and misconduct have become systemic, spanning multiple teams, coaches, and victims. The report was led by Sally Yates, former Deputy Attorney General in the law firm of King and Spalding. So pretty damning report. And our final story is that the Platinum Partners, who were all convicted of fraud around opioid sales, had their appeal to the Supreme Court denied. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.